Hello all, welcome to the Gulf War, the battle after the war. Today I'm live and I appreciate your support, all the ones that are joining me, and I also appreciate the ones who join me on the replay. First I want to say happy Veterans Day to everybody. I hope everybody's out having a great time, taking advantage of all the discounts that are out there if you're a veteran. There's a lot of things to do, places to eat, free meals. The one thing that I wanted to cover right off the bat is Veterans Day itself. The word veterans, there's no apostrophe in it. It's just Veterans Day. So when you're writing it out, just keep that in mind. It's all in how you're celebrating it when you say Happy Veterans Day, or when you're writing Happy Veterans Day, or typing Happy Veterans Day. When you put that apostrophe in there, you create an emphasis on, like, you're celebrating one veteran versus two or three veterans or everybody. Veterans Day is celebrating all veterans, here and gone. The other thing that I don't know that they're teaching in schools anymore is originally Veterans Day was called Armistice Day. And November 11th, 1919 was the first anniversary of the end of World War I. Congress had passed a resolution in 1926 for an annual observance of November 11th, which became a national holiday beginning in 1938. Unlike Memorial Day, Veterans Day pays tribute, like I was saying, to all American veterans, living or dead, but especially gives thanks to the living. Veterans who served their country and are honorably during war and peacetime. So those are all things that you need to keep track of. And Memorial Day is just celebrating the ones that passed. The other thing that I wanted to propose is something that I've discussed with veterans in the past. When we sit in these wonderful VA facilities, we have nothing else to talk about except for our history, our past, our stories, our not so nice memories and our nice memories. But one of the things that always comes up around this time of year when you're sitting in an ER or you're sitting in a VA hospital waiting hours and hours for your appointment is, what do you say to somebody who says, "Thank you for your service"? Nobody says that to a police officer. They don't say it to a fireman. They don't say it to the emergency responders. But they say it to veterans. They say it to soldiers. And for us, most of us that have gone over, it's a job that we signed up to do, just like a typist or a secretary or a paralegal, a person who works in an office 9 to 5 or works a 60-hour shift a week or something. To us, it's just another job. So I was thinking about this over the past couple of weeks, and I thought, you know what, it's a good opportunity to address this question in a live format. And the first thing that came to my mind was, rather than saying, "Thank you for your service," why not ask that person about their rate or something about them? Ask them about a positive memory from the military. Ask a question. Get to know the person that you're saying, or you want to say, Happy Veterans Day to. I think that would go that extra mile, create a better relationship, or kindle a relationship with somebody that maybe you don't know very well. Give you the opportunity to get to know a person. Give them the opportunity to talk. Most veterans, we don't speak. We don't talk to people. We stay quiet. We stay in our corner. We do our own thing. A lot of us don't even get out of our homes. So to have that conversation, I think, is a good starter to helping a veteran become part of the community or feel like they belong in the community. I can say when I first started this has been a huge huge step for me, going from being nervous about starting a podcast, running to my friends for help, to actually sitting in front of a camera now live talking to people. I mean, it's huge, 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 huge for me. I don't know that I could do it again, but I'm here now. That's what counts. But that was my thought. If anybody has any extra thoughts on that, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see responses to that. But I think going that extra mile, taking that extra initiative, will cut back on that 22 that everybody keeps talking about. It'll show soldiers coming back that the public is interested. The response I got when I came back was nothing anywhere near the response that the soldiers now are getting. And it's just mind-blowing, the 360 that has happened from both Vietnam to the Gulf War to now. So I think something like this could be a positive return to the soldiers who did write that blank check, did go over, and did make it back. Doesn't necessarily mean we came back 100%, but we came back, and to show the interest, to bring up the positive things about the service that we provided, I think takes us in a direction where a veteran can then start to accept that it's okay to, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess, get back into a norm, for lack of better words. It's just to know that it's, that there's a healing, I guess. There's an acceptance of being part of a family again, being amongst other people who are curious or interested in what they experienced. I know a hard time with this one because it's difficult. It's like what I said, when I came back, I came back to a lot of negativity, a lot of fighting, a lot of, the war was our fault. It's just a lot of blame placed on soldiers. And we did a job. We had no idea what we were doing, why we were there. We just were given directions and followed them. But I think, one of the biggest issues I had getting out was in the exit physical, they don't give you any information. They just tell you, yes, you're good, or no, you may have some this wrong, some that wrong, and then out the door you go. And they don't give you any explanation as to why. If you try to refute what they say, then you could find yourself in the brig or something other than dishonorable. Then it's hard for you to get jobs out in the public. So there's a whole lot of negatives that go along with it. This is what goes through soldiers' minds when they're walking through their exit physical to get out. And it's not fair. Unfortunately, there's nobody there at your exit physical that tells you you need to stay in the medical system. You need to stay connected to the military after you get out. You need to now get on the website and register. You need to make sure that you know what's going on, because yes, you're getting out now and you may be fine, but what happens in 5 years when you're not? And then you don't know because you never stayed connected. I was one of those. I never stayed connected. I found out about my illness from somebody who wasn't even in the military. So it's something that's very important. And I think just by asking those questions, you may trigger something in somebody. They may remember something, might be something that you guys can sit down and talk about, maybe an experience that you click on all levels. you don't know. But to walk by and say thank you for your service, I think we've gone beyond that. I think now, in this day and age, I think it's okay for somebody to say, what was your rate? Or what did you do in the military? It's a 10-minute conversation. Everybody has 10 minutes. Take 10 minutes and talk. It's part of the issue in our public nowadays is that nobody talks. Everybody's nose to the phone. So if you're taking the opportunity to look up and say, Happy Veterans Day, take the opportunity to look up and say, where did you serve? A simple answer to that, Afghanistan. And keep walking or stop and talk, whatever. I've got people constantly in the past 3 or 4 weeks that have said, nice tat. You served in the military? Yes. Thank you. And you keep walking. It's like, unless there's an actual conversation that happens, there's simple answers. And we can give simple answers. But if you don't ask the questions, we're not going to talk and we're not going to volunteer information because that's what we were trained to do. It's taken years for me to be able to communicate, and I still have trouble. Communication is like, I went from a double F to an F, and I'm still working my way up to a D. So it's important. It's very important. And the only reason I agreed to do this is because I made a few promises. And this was my second promise and my last one, and I'm good. But as a soldier, I hold honor. I support my country. I fought for my country. I love my country, and I would do it all again in a heartbeat, without question. And I don't know many soldiers, or any soldiers for that matter, that don't feel the same way I do. Most of us loved what we did, which is why we did it. I didn't like the way I went in, but I went in and I did what I had to do. I did do a biography of my entry into the military and a little bit about me, well, a lot about me. And it's all kind of out of order. I've done all these videos already, so you're going to get my bio later, and you'll have a better understanding of who I am. But today was important to me because, like I said, I support my veterans, always have, always will. And I wanted to get that out there and get feedback from everybody and see what you think, as well as make suggestions. I read through everything that's said, and I would definitely apply anything that makes sense. I would also engage and talk to you about your ideas. Maybe there's something there that we can expand on. Maybe there's something there that we can podcast about. It would be pretty cool. Or maybe there's something there that we could throw on YouTube and banter about. Maybe both of us get on, or all of us get on, however many there are. Anything to improve communication, open up the line, I think is beneficial. That's it for me today. I hope everybody's enjoying the discounts. Enjoy the rest of your week. I will be releasing my normal podcast on Wednesday, so look out for that. Subscribe to this channel, because everything that I put out on podcast, I also put out on YouTube. Eventually, they're going to kind of link together so that when you watch the YouTube, the podcast will be the same, which it's already starting to get to that point. It's taking a little bit of time. But hang with me, and things will get better as I go. And I'm a one-man show, so I teach myself and I try to apply what I've learned, and sometimes I screw it up, sometimes I don't. So have a good one, and I look to talk to you guys soon. And don't forget to hug a vet.